people have been trying to break in recently. A bit of a shame really. Someone's obviously had that door off, the bottom half of that door. There's another one, just in it then, yeah, over there. Yes, welcome back to another video. So obviously having a thought about my content recently and what content should come next. I've got some plans in place now so we can start cracking away and chipping away at the content. So obviously today is going to be we're going to a church today, and the church has been one of the first churches I ever went in as an investigator. Now it's really interesting, this church, because when I first went in, it was like a dead riot. There was like pure dirty words coming out the box, like cursed, I was beheaded, all kinds of dirty stuff, devil, demon, and all that kind of stuff. So it shit me up basically the first time I went in, and I said I was never going back. So the second time I went in, the activity seemed to diminish a little bit, and then obviously the third time it diminished a little bit more, and then it became like a refuge point for me for if I get followed, where to go before I go home. So if I've been to places like Rochdale and I think I'm being followed, I'll go into this church, and I usually the following usually stops. So that basically means I'm getting a read. Right, Millie goes reads. Sometimes it's Teresa, but I can usually tell Teresa, and I can usually tell as well if it's demonic or not demonic, but you know, if it's a negative entity or whatever. So anyway, we'll go to the church today. This church, there shouldn't be much coming out, so it's just like a revisit, if you like, just to make sure the activity is what I want it to be. So it should be nice and calm. There should be a couple of EVPs coming through. There will be SLS captures. What else will we have? Well, might have some intelligent replies, but yeah, this church we're going to is St.Jhon the Baptist Church. So basically, it's one of the oldest churches in Rochdale. I don't think it is the oldest church. I know there are oldest churches than it. Obviously, it does have an active graveyard, as you'll see. But the church lies abandoned now. The reason why it's abandoned is because back in the day, a lot of people would turn to religion, and religion's basically diminished now over time. And this is because a lot of people don't believe in faith anymore. So they need, basically, people would get married or you get christened and you pay for these things, and money will go towards the church. The church needed donations to stay open. This church is not open anymore. It's been closed. It's now one of the churches of England, and it lays decayed and abandoned, which is a real shame, to be honest. So maybe one day, if you have enough money, I'll buy this church and I'll live there. But I don't have enough money, and I definitely won't be living there anytime soon. So, but anyway, I'll go down to the church. I'll show you around the church. There is an old captain buried at the church from a war from the 14th century, I believe. I forget his name, but I can look it up. But there's many people as well buried in this church. The first time, like I said, I went, there was like banging coming from in the church as I sat by one of the graves, and it came through bedroom. I mean, it's more or less like I'm sitting in someone's bedroom, because that's a space at the end of the day. I always respect the dead, because I know there's people's loved ones buried there. I'm not one to intervene or be disrespectful in any kind. I'm there for the spirits, basically, to help them if they need it. But I don't know if they need it until I start listening to what's coming out. So I'll try to use the Vox a little bit. I'll show you the SLS captures. I think it's Robert Clegg, basically. We have touched Jhons before, so I'll be going, like I said, I'll be going down to see them. So instead of me nattering stuff, I'll get down there. But before I do want to go, if you like this video, I'll probably do a night video too, and it's where I use a green pen. Now this graveyard has had captures. If you stand there long enough and take photos, you will get a capture at some point, just normal photos, and you just keep snapping away. You'll get something at the end of the day. You'll get either a white mist, or you might get an apparition in the graveyard. I've got a thermal camera that I've not used yet. I might use this in a night video to try to show you these thermal captures. It's so easy to get a thermal capture in this graveyard, as it's that old and it's that derelict. The spirits still wander the graveyard to this day. Not many people go in this graveyard now, so yeah, it's just the volunteers basically that go in and look after the gardens. Basically, big shout out to them. Honestly, big shout out to them volunteers. I think it's some older ladies. Absolutely fantastic to go in there and still look after the graveyard. And it goes to show they're probably from a Christian faith, to be honest. And it goes to show that Christians are good people. You know, I could go on and on about Christianity, but this isn't what this channel's about. It is religion based, but it's the higher content is paranormal. So instead of being nattering shit for 5 minutes now, which I've done, to get my point across, we'll go down to the graveyard and we'll see what's going on. Anyway, big shout out to them women that are still volunteering and keeping the grass short and looking after the graves, because there's people, loved ones out there still, and I think they still come to the graveyard. But anyway, big shout out to them. So let's get down to the graveyard, see what's cracking, and see what replies we get. See them there. Right, that's the church there. It's a bit windy, yeah, and there's obviously a lot of traffic, so I'm going to move off the road in a minute. So I'll show you around the church. For the people that are not from around here, I'll try to give you a good tour, but if you're from around here, you'll know what I mean. So you get captures probably around there, and this is what I was saying to you before. The church has been closed by the thingy of England, by the services, and it's obviously because there's no one coming here anymore. But there would have been a lot of people that walked up these steps into the graveyard. So I like the tube now. I'll walk round once. In fact, I'll use a box, to be honest. I'll get the captures at the end. Right, rolling. Let's do it. It has been raining, so, and the grass needs cutting. I can't hear it because of the cars. I'll have to listen back on my. But you can see how old some of these graves are. 1753, I think it says. Yeah, 1753. Someone was born. It's James Halfway. I can show these because they're really old. These ones. It's the newer ones that I don't really want to show. And you can see the different ways how people have been buried. Robert Cook. There's a lot of Cooks. There's another one there, Walter William Cook. And there's another Cook over there, and they like to map in a lot to the Cooks. That's Eileen Cook as well. That one. Can't make out the year. It's lovely designs though in the masonry work. Laboured much in the Lord, it says. There's Cleggs as well buried here. Lots of the Cleggs, because Cleggs is quite a common name. So I'm not getting much off the box, so I'm going to wait the tube and let them choose the words. Right, rolling take one on the tube. The words will just come out easy here. So I don't think they bury people here anymore, but it's a graveyard that's well and truly forgotten. I'm not going to pan too much down here because it's the more modern, more the newer ones. Now it has been raining, and so I don't think I'm going to get much action, but this is the church itself. I always get usually magnet pings coming from the sky, but we're not doing today, and I think it's obviously because of the weather. There's no magnetism either. There we are, some over here. When it comes to the bird, there's pings there as well. I'm sure I just seen someone in front of me with just the leaves. You can come and talk to me if you want. Choose a word.
Be quiet.
No, I'm sorry. I'll move around here. It probably is because they want peace.
A long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah. The speaker light be alright if you got that light back on. Some more pingage. It's probably coming from the captures that are over here that I'll show you in a minute on the SLS. I'm glad they've done that actually and put a board over the door to stop people getting in.
Cemetery.
Cemetery. Well, it is a cemetery, yeah, you're right.
Doom.
Doom. Yeah, he's gonna come to Doom, yeah. I'm just reading what they wanted to do at the church. You can imagine how all them doors are. That would have been one of the main entrances, I would have thought. See, there's not much activity now, which is good, but before it was just constant pinging. I think it's a little bit different at night. But I was sat down here once and there was banging coming from in the church, and there's obviously no one in the church. It's just more magnetism pings there again. Beautiful church. So, I'm not one for walking on graves yet, but there's something I want to see over here.
Qualified.
I am
Keep
qualified,
recording.
yeah. I am qualified. It's because I'm what I'm wearing. If you see what I'm wearing, obviously I'm wearing my night's gear, which basically gives me a little right to investigate sensitive areas when it comes to the spirits. Because I work for the angels. So what's that say? I can't make it out because it's that old. It's a magistrate or something. 1785 it says. Something about Waterloo it says at the end, and this might be the captain's grave. It says Butterworth. So 1870.
I live here.
I know you do, yeah. I've got no doubt you do. And there's another one here. These was to stop, I think, grave robbers. I might be mistaken, to be honest, but yeah. So obviously it's husband and wife, would have thought, that are buried here. There's a grave here which is just well out of the way. There's loads of flies on it for some reason. Why is there loads of flies around here? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Right, I'll stop the tube. Just a second take on the tube. This gives them a chance to say anything. There's many doors in this church.
False.
False. I forget what I said at the beginning. The tainted glass is lovely. I don't think. And it's mad, I don't think you can get tainted glass like that anymore. I mean, it's crazy how back in the day they would have put this glass in and they would have made it different to how they
Make a noise.
You can make a noise if you want.
Married.
Married? Well, that's what them two people were doing now, weren't they? You want to make a noise? Right, so it's only a quick video anyway. Dungeon to hell, maybe. So obviously people have been trying to break in recently. A bit of a shame, really. Someone's obviously had that door off, the bottom half of that door off. I don't know why you break into a church. I really don't. Like,
Stop it.
Yeah, stop breaking in, yeah. Stop breaking into the churches. Right, I'll try the SLS.
Where? Asylum.
Asylum, yeah. Right, I'll try the SLS here.
In front of you.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to have a look at now. Here we go. So if you stand here long enough, you'll get something. I usually get captures over here. I'll move closer over there in a minute because it might not be in range. It's important as well that these graveyards get the airtime they deserve, because it was such an important part of the community at one point. So I'm not getting any mapping ins at the minute, which is quite rare. If I'm patient enough, it'll come. That's good. No mappings in. Oops, just touched spot too soon. This side can be bad for it as well usually, but like I say, it's daytime and they don't usually map. There you go, there's another one. Just in it then, yeah. Over there. Yeah. Let's come down a little bit, see if we get more on these captures. Right, so in front of me will be a stickman that you can't see. Do you wanna come and leave your voice in here? Is it Robert? But that wind's horrible. Robert, do you want to come and choose a word? Or it might be James, I'm not sure to be honest. That's interesting, that grave there, because it's been like cleaned, I think, or something. As you can now see the dates, so it's 1915 to 1980, and you can see how old this graveyard is with some of the dates on the graves. So you don't usually get milligauss in here, you usually get your SLS capture.
Real.
Oh yeah, I know it's real, it's obviously because I have my device out and they want to know that they want to make the point that they're real. But I know they're real, and sometimes the K2 device doesn't always, it's not as consistent as I'd like it to be. I know you're real, I just come to say hiya again, as I do sometimes. So look on this. This is a big piece of this. The Wardle Lane. What's this? Something to do with Wardle. Thomas Johnson of the Wardle Lane. It says here, who died in 17th of whatever it is, 1856, aged 29 years. It says. Let me just move that leaf. Man of what? Oh, it's James and Nancy. It says Broadley of Small Bridge, and it's, I think it says Butcher, who died July 20th, 1855, aged 20. 1855, eh? Father, is that what he was? Yeah. Who died November 1860. That's James Broadley, that one. What else have we got here? 68, Wardle. Is that 1634?
Talk
Oh,
with
it might
me.
be 18 actually. It looks like 18. 1834. Dress. Well, it says Hannah, so Hannah's probably the daughter of who wore a dress. And there's more graves here.
Be
look.
careful.
James Hadwick. What's the date? 1894. $1888. So you can see lots of graves here, different
Close.
times back in history. Now, what's, like I said at the beginning of my video, it's interesting how the church is now lying decayed and abandoned. It's because of religion, really. People are not interested anymore. Personally, sometimes you need religion. Sometimes I need religion to get rid of evil spirits, and it works, you know. So I ain't gonna throw a Bible at you or whatever, you know what I mean. I'll just probably say, watch one of them videos, like, you know what I mean. So anyway, one quick look round here.
Electric. What is happening?
I'm just talking to you, and we'll communicate with each other in the graveyard.
Be quiet.
Oh, sorry, they didn't tell me to be quiet, so I better cut it here, and I'm just doing SLS here because resting out of this. So see what SLS can. Our spirits in void now. Thanks for talking. You know I like to come and see you now and again. You can come and leave your voice before I go if you want.
I'd wait you.
She's a baby that died 9 weeks. It's only a baby. It's a shame, mate. Whoever made these graves honestly did a fantastic job. The masonry work's brilliant. 1819. That's a funny name, that. Can't look at that. It's such a small grave, really. Is that 1609? I better go now because, you know, they said for me to be quiet. So this is me leaving. Yeah, just a quick visit really to the churchyard. It's different at night time, like I said. But yeah, it's time to go now. Peace.